Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And this is a special review for Le Bamba. Ba ba da 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 la Bamba. Ba da la la Bamba. Yes. Like I seen the whole thing. I do know some of the words. I do, but I don't want to butcher it, so I'm not going to. But as you know, La Bamba is the biopic about Richie Valens. If you don't know, Richie Valens was a very young rock and roll musician back in the 50s. And one fateful day in 1961, 57, coming from Clear Lake, Iowa, I've been there at the Surf Ballroom. I've been by there. While flying from there to Chicago, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and boy, does this guy want you to believe he's a Big Bopper, and Buddy Holly all tragically died in an airplane crash. You know what? Oh, I have to step on it. Hold on. All died in a tragic plane crash. And so they did a biopic movie about it, where half the movie is about his older brother. Yeah, it's half the movie is about his older brother, and half the movie is trying to convince you that this was destiny for him to die in this plane crash. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad movie. I liked it. I like it a lot. But I just felt like maybe they didn't have enough to focus on. There's some focus, but like they focus on him becoming famous, which happens very, very fast in this movie. I know it's a movie that's less than 2 hours long, which is ideal. It's like an hour and 40 something. And I think it handles the subject matter very well. You know, with some of the stuff with his brother being a drunk and alcoholic. There's a lot of that. And yeah, so I've always wanted to watch this movie because constantly on Instagram I'm seeing the end of this movie. Yeah, the clip of it, which it's not really spoiling because it's a historical drama, right? So you know how it's going to end, right? It's not like, you know, so me seeing the end a couple times isn't going to spoil anything because obviously we know what happens. Boy, this time watching it, completely fill in the screen and just wow. They're trying to remake this. So I've seen only a couple other biopics with Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody. One of the things I hope they do, if they do remake it, not that it needs it, but if they do like to do with these ones and actually have Richie Valens vocals over the actor who's doing it. Or like Rocket Man, have someone who can make the sound. Because Lou Diamond Phillips does a good job portraying the character, lip syncs to Los Lobos, who do all the Richie Valens songs. And they're done very well. They're very good. But you know he's lip syncing. Even though Lou Diamond Phillips can sing. Yeah. He's performed on The Masked Singer. He can sing, but you know, much like Jason Marsden, who could sing, but they replaced him for the Goofy movie with Aaron Lohr from Newsies. Aaron Lohr's not bad, but Jason Marsden can sing and sound like his character. But yeah, so the movie actually starts with Bob, the older brother, coming home from prison. I see him and everything, and then they eventually move to California, where Richie starts going to public school, and he meets, Donna. Yeah, Donna. And, yeah, begins that. Yes, there's I get it. There's no conclusion to this thing between his dad and Richie being Mexican, because there couldn't have been, because you know he passed away before things could finish. But it does feel like a dangling plot thread in a movie. When you think of movie wise, it's like a dangling plot thread. You'd think if they're taking liberties with certain stuff, they could, you know, especially if they're making it seem like he's trying to wrap things up at the end with his brother, almost as if he knows. Like, first of all, the beginning of this movie had me roll my eyes. Before Bob shows up, there's like some 50s music playing, shot of the sky, and then a plane just explodes in the air, and I'm like, no, what are we doing? After looking it up, apparently, what it is he keeps having nightmares about a plane crash, not his, but another plane that crashed before, which is why he doesn't like flying. Let me tell you right now, I will never, ever get in a plane. I have a fear of heights, and then, after everything I've seen with what 9/11 and other stuff, I just don't think the plane is the thing for me. Okay? Everything keeps telling me, no, stay away. So, no plane for me. I drive. I don't drive. Someone else will drive me. We'll drive together. Or my ass will walk and take 50 years to get to where I'm going, because, I just, no fly for Scotty. But yeah, so there's that. It's a racial tension thing because they're white and they're, they got money and everything, but he gets money later, and even then, still, like, her dad is racist, basically, is what it is, because he won't allow her to see him. At one point, he keeps calling her, and he keeps picking up the phone. The dad does, and sorry, she's busy. So she's out on a date, stuff like that. But that doesn't deter him at all. And like his fame comes pretty quick. Like he joins this garage band and starts playing the guitar and stuff. And you could see from the look on the leader of the band's face, you're like, okay, something's gonna happen here. And eventually they do basically kick the leader of the band out because Richie got a place to perform and he doesn't want to perform there, but everyone else does, so they sort of vote him out. Only for then, like a couple scenes later, when Joey Pants shows up and says, hey, I want to sign you, and only you, and then we never see the band again. And he starts recording songs. And I like this scene where they make him re-record the thing like 60 times is what it was. That's how that works. You were doing it, but I think his voice would be more out. Even Bob says they all sound the same to me, which I don't know. But after 60 takes, you think your voice would be so hoarse you wouldn't sound like that. But it's a movie. Who knows? Sometimes it takes that long. I did like the music in this, by the way. Not just La Bamba, but the other ones that they were playing. There are times that I would go in the bathroom to use the bathroom and then come out or check my phone because it was charging. But just like dance to the music. It's fun. And I like 50s stuff. I used to watch Happy Days. This kind of reminds me of that, just the music and the way everyone's dresses and everyone dresses, not everyone's dresses, but the way that everyone dresses, their clothes and everything, and the cars and the look and the music and the everything. Could have used a little less Bob. I'm sorry. After about the third time that he shows up drunk, I went, I get it. He's an alcoholic. Why do we have to keep showing scenes of him being drunk and crashing into things, and why? I get it. They have nothing else for this character other than to show up being drunk all the time. Maybe it's true. Maybe that's how he was, but I don't know. It got a little overdone for me. Right? Also, his girlfriend Rosie gets pregnant, and it's implied that she got pregnant because he sexually assaulted her, and then he wants nothing to do with the baby, and then he does, and there's no resolution. Just when Richie calls him, he's watching the kid, and I'm just like, at the end of the movie, he's watching the baby, and I'm like, wait, where did we go from you're a drunk and not allowed around the baby to, yeah, you can watch it while we're gone? Was there a scene that was taken out? Because I don't remember seeing that. feels like something's missing here, And again, Bob doesn't get a full story arc because he couldn't within the confines of this film for telling Richie Valens' story. It ends with his death. Spoilers, I guess, but it ends with his death. So if Bob became a better person, we don't know about it. They don't even do this is what happened to Donna. And this, at the end after, no. They just end with him yelling, Richie! On a bridge, and then showing both of them running up a hill. And then the movie ends. Wait till we get, there's a tonal whiplash at the end of this. Let me tell you. I like Joey Pants in this. I'm a fan of Joey Pants. Very young Joey Pants. Still no hair, though. Still no hair. No mustache, which is weird. Usually has some form of facial hair that you see on him. I guess in the Goonies he didn't. I don't wear happies. But, he's good as he plays the manager. He's trying to tell him, hey, we got a show here. You gotta fly out for that. No, I'll drive. I don't fly. And again, he and Bob go to Tijuana, which is where he hears the song La Bamba and gets the idea to record it as a rock and roll song. And then he wakes up in some shaman's tent and he gives him this talisman that's supposed to protect him from flying. Yeah, and then, like I said later, he and Bob get into it, and Bob rips it off of him, which automatically means he can't wear it anymore. Okay, I read ahead because I figured I know how it ends. What am I going to spoil, right? And I'm reading through this and I'm going, what is this? This talisman? And then it says that Bob breaks it. No, he rips it off his throat, that's it, and he's holding it. It's perfectly fine. I was waiting for him to smash it. He doesn't smash it. He does not smash it. It's perfectly fine. Just get another chain or something and put it back around your neck. They make it seem like because this was broken, that's why he's going to crash. He goes to Iowa, which is where I was born, not Clear Lake, but, And then they have the little thing there. Richie's feeling a little sick. Then he calls his brother and they make up. And again, it makes you feel like he knew it was going to happen. And then for an extra pièce de resistance to this whole thing about it being like his destiny to be on this plane and crash, they do a coin flip. And Richie wins. And just a little cherry on top, he says, that's the first coin flip I ever won. And I went, oh, give me a fucking break. We get it. You don't need to keep nailing it in, okay? And yeah, hey, props to them for not actually showing the plane crash. It just flies up, you see snow covering, and then cuts away, Because I thought that the dream at the beginning, like it was foreshadowing, like that was going to happen. But it was a plane crash in the snow. It is Iowa, after all. But, yeah. Also, before I get to the end here, so I'm watching it on Tubi. There's ads, and there hadn't been an ad for a while, and he was getting ready to perform La Bamba, and I'm like, I have a feeling it's gonna start bum 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 and cut to an ad. I must have magic powers because it waited till as soon as he was done with the song. As soon as he stopped with the song, as soon as it was over, it went to an ad. I must have magic powers to hold it back or something. I could have done without all the... before I get to the ending here, go back to Bob a little bit. Again, there was way too much Bob. I mean, having Bob in the movie is not bad. S.M. Morales is a good actor. Didn't need all that drunken Bob going throughout it. Didn't need it. Just, there was too much. I get it. He's an alcoholic. He's a drunk. We get it. You don't need to keep reiterating it to us every time he's on screen. Right? And the ending. Now this is what made me want to watch this movie. Right? So I did notice a couple things in this, but this time, watching it on a complete full screen instead of a little bar thingy. So Bob was working on a car, right? Or trailer car. When it comes across the radio that Big Bopper, by the way, before I get into it, the Big Bopper, another case of, we get it. Every time the Big Bopper pops on screen, he's saying, "Hello, baby." We get it. He's a Big Bopper. Doesn't need to have him say it every time he comes on screen. We get it. We get it. By the way, the guy who played Buddy Holly, he looks just like Buddy Holly. They took liberties with Richie Valens. He was a little bit of a heavier set guy. Not as heavy as me, but a little heavier set guy. A little bit of chubby cheeks. He was only 17, by the way, when he passed. Which, yeah. So, yeah, but to me, I've never seen what the Big Bopper looked like, but guy by Buddy Holly, pretty good looking Buddy Holly. Anyway, so Bob's working on a car, comes across the radio what happened. They all died in a plane crash. He comes out, he's like, "What the shit?" And I'm like, really? I don't remember saying, "What the No, what the shit?" Which is not a phrase, but some people do say it. And then out comes Rosie. "Bob, did you hear about Richie?" And I'm like, what is this soap opera acting? What? And so they're like, "What about Connie?" Which is his mom. So they cut to the school, and like the best acting is here because her friend is like, "Donna, you need to sit down. We need to tell you something." And she sort of starts crying and everything. So he goes around the house. Bob goes around the house, and there's a fence there. So he hops the fence. He misses it. Really, he biffs it. He barely gets over it. His leg hits it. He almost falls. And I'm like, I didn't notice that before. They didn't want to retake that. They didn't want to redo that. Or was that the best take? And he's like, he gets over there, and she's all, "No, not my Richie, not my Richie." And she throws the laundry into the air, and I'm like, what is this soap opera acting? I'm crying at this point because it's sad. But then when she does that, I'm laughing while also crying at the same time. And then Bob has this weird that he's doing, and I'm like, what? Was there no second take? Are we doing a soap opera? What? I don't know. Then we see a funeral procession. And like I said, Bob goes out onto a bridge, and he goes, "Richie!" And I went, okay. Okay, I'm supposed to be crying, which I am, but I'm also laughing now, hysterically, because this is soap opera level acting, to the point that I feel like, did they tell him to go too much? What is this? I know, it's supposed to be serious, but as the movie is getting ready to end, we're getting ready to wrap up, before he does the Richie, right, I'm like, okay, so we're going to do some kind of sad song at the end, right? I mean, a movie would kind of end with La Bamba. It's called La Bamba, but they won't do that. As soon as you go, "Richie," it cuts. I went, you've got to be kidding me. That is the biggest tonal whiplash, very, very sad moment of someone who actually died. Ba-da-da-da-bumba in the credits. Are you serious? You couldn't have played a softer song like Donna, or the other one that he sings, like "I Want to Be With You" or whatever it's called, right? I get movies called La Bamba. You want to throw that in there, fine, but it's just a tonal whiplash. You got all this hokey soap opera acting. Very, very sad scenes happening. His brother yelling out his brother's name, seeing them run up the hill together. Very sad. Bum 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 ba 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 bum 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 ba ba bum 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 ba da 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 bum ba. It doesn't mix. It's like oil and water. Dude, no. I'm still gonna give this a pretty good, but there was some tonal whiplash there. Just like, oh, my head. Because it was just like, what happened? Very, very sad moment. What? Hey, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I want to get the physical media. Every time I put the DVD in my eBay cart, someone buys it. I'm gonna try. It's a good movie. Pretty good, by the way. But, yeah. That ending. I don't know if I can look at the ending the same way again. The ending is a good ending. Well, for the story, where he dies. The acting is good, if a little bit over the top, but it works. And it's a sad moment. Ruined by having La Bamba play in the credits. I know, that's the name of the movie. I get it. But, it's just... It's a little too much. Anyway, what are your thoughts on La Bamba? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.